This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello and welcome to another edition of C2C Rankem, brought to you by Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am the host, Big B, joined by my colleague, my co-host, halfway around the world, Mr. Tim Hendricks, the Primus. How's it going, bud?
I'm doing good. Excited. We've got a list here that we've never dabbled in. We kind of dabble in half of it, but now we're really dabbling into other things, and you kind of learn where you're from when you start doing these things.
Yes, exactly. So first we'll put out the warning that yes, it is a list of states with people born in there. If we do happen to throw a person out there, please give us a little leeway. When you Google stuff and you think you know, and then you go back and research. So if a person slips by that we name that's in a state, our bad, just let us know. But we try to do our best to get it correct. So we're going to start with states, people that were born and famous people. So this should be a fun list. Not as fun as the weirdest laws, but it should be a fun one. So let's start with up there in the north, Alaska. So we talked backstage, had to make some adjustments. So Tim, what do you think?
This state, as beautiful as this state is, there's just not that many famous people from here. Holy smokes. This one was a tough one.
So it's going to be,
I'd say three, maybe three.
I'll go two because I'm kind of curious on where the third one comes from, but
I've got a slight curveball at number 5, considering.
Okay, well,
I didn't realize there's a reason. Yeah, lead off of my curveball. I didn't realize this guy was famous until they actually have to listen to the. You have to read the reason why he's famous. I'm a big Soundgarden, Audio Slave, Chris Cornell fan, and I love just about anything that he does. No, Chris Cornell's not from Alaska. Just so you know. So not to jump off that ledge right off the top. No, he's not from Alaska. But they did. But Soundgarden had a song called Spoon Man. And when I saw this, I like, okay, I like the song. I've got it downloaded. I have Spoon Man from Soundgarden. But I didn't realize it was based off of somebody, and it's based off of somebody from Alaska. My number 5 is Artist the Spoon Man.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little curveball there. So my number 5, I guess its claim to fame is going to be fisherman, hunter from up that way, trapping, sled dogs, I guess. And that's one, Emmett Peter.
I wouldn't. I think that's the first time we've got I think we've had a sled dogger on our show at any spot.
Yep.
I want to double check.
All right.
I want to double. Oh man, now I want to really double check. I know this guy's from. Yeah, he's from Alaska, but I just want to make sure if before I say anything, if he's actually won an NCAA or an NBA title. Yep. Okay, we're good.
All right.
Matter of fact, I'm going to take one out of your Homer cards. Especially along the lines of the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's also a two-time NBA champion with the Miami Heat. I don't know if he's still in the league. I can't remember if he's still in the league, but he's from Anchorage. He was born in Anchorage, so I double-checked and made sure that was right. Because there is another NBA star that both of us have had to take off our list because he's actually from Frankfurt, Germany. But my number 4 is Mario Chalmers.
Never played for the Wolves.
He got drafted by the Wolves. Yeah. He got
Okay, I guess
he got drafted by the Wolves, and I think he got traded out of the Wolves. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, got drafted by the Wolves, and then
got traded to Memphis.
Oh, okay. I guess I forgot about that. All right.
Or got traded to the Miami Heat is what it was.
Yeah. All right. So that was your number 4. Okay, my number 4. You know what? Let's stick into Sled Dog because this guy's a Hall of Famer for doing it. I kind of would like to see the Hall of Fame ceremony, and I guess dogs do all the work. I don't know how you would be able to become a Hall of Famer, but that is Rick Swanson, Hall of Famer dog sledder.
Rick Swanson.
Okay. All right, you're number 2.
My number 3. Again, for some reason I like to double check things because I remember that he is a he's either 2-time or 3-time Super Bowl champion with 2 different teams. He was with the Washington Redskins and with the Denver Broncos, but I remember him more for his little television career there for a little bit. Where he plays, I can't remember the stinking series. He was on a soap opera for a brief period of time, and I can't remember it. But he goes by the nickname of Stink. He was on Mike and Mike on ESPN. I love listening. He's in with, I believe, CBS now. I can't quite remember, but my number 3, matter of fact, I think we had him on our birthdays like a couple weeks ago or last week or a couple weeks ago. Okay. My number 3 is Mark Schlereth.
Okay.
You're right. We're probably not getting 3 at this point.
No. My number 3 is NHL. I don't know if it was an all-star, but he played for, God, it looks like about half the league. Drafted by the Anaheim Ducks, I believe. No, I'm sorry. Drafted by the Boston Bruins in 2003. Played up until this last year. That's Nathan Thomas.
Wow, I thought you had something else.
Oh,
I thought you went a different way.
Okay, well, go. You're number 2.
My number 2, I'm going to stay in the NHL. But this guy plays. Last I knew, he played for the Florida Panthers, but I know he had gotten drafted by the New Jersey Devils originally. My number 2 is Scott Gomez.
Okay. My number 2, and we'll kick it off with this not C2C unless we're sniping. You sniped him at number 4. That's Mario Chalmers.
All
right, you're number 1.
My number 1. I swear to God, if you don't have this, I've got a Cy Young Award winner. I believe he won a Cy Young Award. When I saw he was from Alaska, I thought, you've got to be kidding me. Then I realized that kind of makes a lot of sense. Won the World Series Matter of fact, I think he's won a World Series at two different spots. Once in Arizona and once with the Red Sox.
Okay.
I can't remember or not. I know you're. I hope you're going to. Matter of fact, doesn't he's got a no hitter too, doesn't he? I can't remember, but I know
If it's
you're
the one
gonna
I'm
say,
thinking of.
if it's the one you're thinking of, I'm just basically sniping you at this point. My number one is the commentator and broke game designer, business owner, and now and former pitcher of what, the Phillies, the Diamondbacks, the Boston Red Sox, and that's Kurt Schilling.
Yep, my number one's Kurt Schilling, drafted by Baltimore Orioles.
Oh,
Won a series with Phillies, the Diamondbacks, of course the Bloody Sox for the Red Sox. I'm trying to see, 6-time All-Star. Did not win a Cy Young.
didn't. Okay, well,
No, he was a World Series MVP, and LCS MVP. He's in the Phillies Hall of Fame, Red Sox Hall of Fame. So yes, one. I was shocked when I saw that, Kurt Schilling, but yes, Kurt Schilling, number one for me. So, well, you got two, so we'll see how the rest of these states go. In a couple of these states, we definitely could have went 20 and probably still not had them all. So we'll move over to West Virginia. We'll kind of go up and down the states here. To me, this was a tough one. This was a lot of good choices. So if we come up with three, I'll be happy.
I think we're gonna get three. I think we're gonna get three. If it's looking at the list that I'm looking at, three's not that hard.
Yeah. All right. So with that being said, I will start. My number 5, and I know we brought her up before. I think she was part of the Magnificent Seven. I think, and she just recently was in the news via her daughter, just keeping us up to date on her health. And that's one, Mary Lou Retton.
Yeah, I think we just had her on our list too. At least I think not too long. One of our lists not too long ago.
Yeah, I think birthdays. I think it was.
I think so.
So, all right, you're number 5.
Is that our wait? That's our first gymnast. Basically, it's a repeat gymnast on our list too.
Yeah, gymnast. Yeah.
All right, my number 5. So I kind of went with a curveball on this one, because if you got this one, it's not that big of a curveball. But we've had a lot of boxers on this list, on our lists, on our birthday list. I don't think we've had any of these guys' birthday yet, but that if any of these people that he's trained is watching, you may get there eventually. Just if we call out your name, don't be afraid to DM us, and maybe we'll set up an interview, and then we'll set up a birthday thing. But we don't usually do boxing trainers. When I saw this guy, and my dad loved any boxer that he trained, and he trained Lennox Lewis, Tommy Hearns, Evander Holyfield, Adonis Stevenson, Oscar De La Hoya, and Tyson Fury, just to name maybe a third of what he's trained. So if any of those guys are watching and that I've named, just DM us and we'll talk. And I've named a lot of champions, a lot of world champions just right there alone, and there was still plenty more. My number 5 is Emmanuel Stewart.
Okay, that's the first trainer. I know, like you said, we've had boxers and dog sledders and stuff like that. So, my number 4, I know we covered this guy a couple times at least. I know one probably for his birthday and one for TV shows, if I recall. And that's one, Don Knox.
So we're sniped at. So we're sniping. Just out of curiosity, what am I up? 2-0 on sniping, just for right now.
You're 2-0 out. Yep.
All right. Cool. Okay. I'm not going that way. I'm not going the Don Knotts way. At my number 4, it's hilarious because I didn't realize that he was a West Virginia boy, especially when you realize he coached at Michigan State, LSU, did 2 years at the Dolphins, and right now is being talked about in the same breath as Bear Bryant at Alabama. My number 4 is Nick Saban.
I saw that name on there. I did. My number 3, I'm going to go Homer here on this one. And depending on who you talk to, he's either 1 or 2, possibly 3 top receivers ever in the NFL game. And that's number 84, Randy Moss. All right. Number 3.
Number three. Well, I'm going football as well. I'm going football. I'm going wide receiver as well. From the university, from Marshall University, who played basketball at Marshall. My number 3 has been sniped by you at number 3. Randy Moss, and to think he started at Florida State. So happy.
He fell 20 spots or 22 spots or something.
It was so great to see going, great, Florida State. And I'm like, when I heard, we got the greatest wide receiver ever to come out of West Virginia, and I'm like, and I'm looking at Florida State going, no, we see them once a year. I don't want to see him once a year. I don't really want to see Randy Moss. And then he decides to go and screw things up and go to Marshall. I went, thank you, God. Thank you. There's a great freaking God.
All right, my number 2, pretty funny guy. I like pretty much anything he does, from his comedy skits to his movies, even his TV shows, and even currently currently hosting The Family Feud, and that's one Steve Harvey.
I saw that one. I saw that one.
All right, you're number 2.
My number 2, I'm going into the NBA, where Randy Moss could have probably played if he'd have played in the NBA. If he'd have played basketball, from what I understand, he was a better basketball player. But that's beside the point. You have to be a great player in the NBA if they make you the logo. And you're probably the greatest GM. Think of what he did with the Los Angeles Lakers as a GM, and what it put the Lakers back on the map in such a huge way. My number 2 is Jerry West.
Yep. Well, let's do it again. You're up 3-1. You got me at my number 1. Your number 2 is my number 1. Jerry West is the logo. I mean, you said it right there. So you're number 2 or number 1.
My number 1. Oh, this one sucks so bad. When you said it at number 4, I felt like I got kicked in the face. My number 1 is Don Knotts. My number 1 is your number 4. I love Don Knotts.
Oh yeah.
My brother's watching. He would have killed you at Don Knotts because Don Knotts was and think about this. Don Knotts was a drill instructor in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And my brother heard about
I don't believe it, but
it's like,
all right, so we got 3 there. So that's good. All right. So let's go. We're a little bit south kitty corner, I guess, from West Virginia. We're going to go to Alabama. This one, another one where, there's a lot of people up there. So,
Forrest Gump is my number 6.
What?
Forrest Gump is my number 6.
Forrest Gump. All right. Looking at the list, this if I had to put money on it, which would be a high ranking, this I could see us going 5 for 5 in because of some of the names.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's going to happen. I'm
Four.
going to go 3, and I think I'll go out on a limb. Our 1 and 2 is going to be the same, might be different order.
If you know me, you should know. If you know me and you know my family, you should know who the number 1 is. You should know who my number 1 is.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Well, how many do you think we got then?
I've got 3 because I don't think because there's 2 on that list and 1 that I didn't put on and probably should have, and I'm going to kick myself for. And then you're going to say it, and I'm going to go, God damn it. But yeah, because I know of one there's one I know of that I didn't put on. And you've got them. And you've got them at like number 4. I guarantee it at this point. My number 5.
You said where? Where do you think I got them?
Number 4, number 3.
You said I had you think okay.
Number 4, number 3. Yeah. Number 3 or number 4.
Right.
It's one of those 2. My number 5. I'm not going into the sports world. I'm going into the music world. He to me, I think he's got 5. There's 5 for 5, right? That is at least 3. Because I've got 2 that aren't in the sports world, and I got 3 that's not in the sports world.
Okay.
But I think has such an amazing voice, and his daughter had such an amazing voice too. And to hear the duet that they both did, they've both long since passed. But I love listening to this man sing. It's an amazing voice. This is one of those states we could have went 10 for, 20 for, and still miss by a mile on a lot of these. My number 5 is Nat King Cole.
Ooh, I missed that one. Okay, my number 5. To me, his career got cut short of injury, and I think if he would have picked one of 2 sports, he would have been, Hall of Fame for sure. I think he still should get in the Hall of Fame for both of them, but I don't think that'll happen. In the College Hall of Fame, a bruiser over running back, a speedy center fielder, one Bo Jackson.
You have him at number 5.
I have him number 5. Yes, I do.
That's the one. That's the one. That's the one.
Okay. I have another name here that I thought maybe you were kind of talking about. All right. Well, number 4.
That's a little bit kind of a kick in the face too. I watched the documentary on Netflix this weekend, and the wife and I did. And we grew up in this era, much like you did. We grew up in the 80s, especially around the 1984 time, and they did a documentary called "The Greatest Night in Pop," and the greatest night in music. And it was hilarious because the first person that you kind of see in the first person they kind of talk to in this documentary is my number 4. Originally, the lead singer of the Commodores had just become a solo artist that year and was hosting the AMAs, and found that out. It seems like the early 2000s he was getting overshadowed by his adopted daughter Nicole, but has come back into where he belongs, because I think he's on America's Got Talent now. Mm-hmm. But my number 4 is Lionel Richie. Oh, you're doing homework.
That's good. Yeah, I had him there. I took him out.
I'm like, you're doing homework on me. No, that's not good.
No, I was actually looking at somebody else. But my number 4, you brought up boxing a couple categories ago. And to me, outside of Mike Tyson, this was probably up there with one of the greatest heavyweight champs of all time. Matter of fact, I think Tyson bit his ear off. I think, and that's Evander Holyfield.
He's from Alabama.
Well, love a quick fact check.
No. That's because he ended up living in Atlanta. That's why I asked. I didn't see that name. Oh crap!
Yeah, Alabama.
Golly, I didn't read
that. Atmore.
We're going to get two at this point, because I think I know. I think I know another person that's on your list, and he may be at 2 or 3 at this point.
Number 3.
My number 3, the man that made Adolf Hitler rethink a lot about minorities in the United States. If it weren't for and basically showed the world that black people were very, very extraordinary, especially when it came to the Olympics, especially in Munich. But to think that he was probably one of the greatest athletes of his generation, and to do what he did in the face of such great tyranny as the Nazi Party in Munich. My number 3 is Jesse Owens.
Okay. All right. My number 3, a lot of baseball fans, reporters still will say this guy, shadow of doubt, the home run king. And that's 1, Hammering Hank Aaron.
Number 3. Who did I miss that's at number 1? Holy
All right, you're number 2.
Holy smokes. All right. Okay, cool. Okay. Oh, no, I'm in trouble at this point. My number 2 is the last person that I have in this group that is not a sports figure, but is known as being the person who may have started the civil rights movement by not moving to the back of the bus. And the funny thing is to have a song done by Outkast, basically giving her paying her homage for doing such a part. I think if it wasn't for this woman in Mobile, matter of fact, not moving to the back of the bus, I think we don't get Martin Luther King jumping in so fast into everything. My number 2 is Rosa Parks.
Okay. Well, let's kick off here. My number 2 is your number 3, Jesse Owens. Yeah, what can you say? Like you said, he changed up a lot of things. So, all right, you're number 1.
Wow. My dad, being a Milwaukee Braves fan, my dad was lucky enough to have dinner with this gentleman. I wish I would have gotten a chance to meet him and my personal favorite as a Milwaukee. I'm not a Milwaukee Braves fan, but my favorite Milwaukee Brave was Eddie Matthews. I got lucky enough to have lunch. My family, my dad, my brother, and I were lucky enough to have lunch with Warren Spahn. But this isn't Warren Spahn, and Eddie Matthews has long since passed, and we lost this great Milwaukee Brave. My dad doesn't believe in the word Atlanta Braves. He says that's a swear word. I am lucky enough to own a couple autographs of this gentleman. One with a picture, one on signed an autograph with Mickey Mantle, and one Harmon Killebrew. So my number 1 is, to me, the greatest Brave/Brewer of all time, Hank Aaron. And you have him sniped at 3.
Yep. Because I think number 1, shadow of a doubt, if you go history, Rosa Parks is definitely up there. You know, you talk about that picture that you said you have signed with Killebrew and Aaron, and who was the third guy?
Mickey Mantle.
I think if you're able to get, well, now you can't, but if you could find one that has all three of those autographs, that's huge.
They got it. I've got it. It's all got all three. It's got all three of them on it.
Nice. Yeah, because I don't think there's. I've seen that picture, and everybody's got one or two, but doesn't have all three.
I've got all three.
All right, so we did three. I kind of knew the Hank Aaron, family tree, and I knew your dad was big there. So yeah, I kind of figured we would have had all three.
He's got, and the funny thing is, for my dad's birthday one year, my brother bought him an Aaron jersey, and it ended up being an Atlanta Braves Aaron jersey. I bought the true Milwaukee Braves jersey because it's got the screaming Indian, the screaming chief on the shoulder, and with the H because his brother Tommy played for the team at the same time. So I'm trying to get one of those jerseys sent here, and I'd like to get the one that I bought my dad, the screaming Indian with the H Aaron and the 44. If you ever get a chance to see how I do my players in MLB The Show, it's always with 44.
Nice. All right, so I think we'll move over to Wyoming. We'll go Wyoming. We'll leave the other W state for last. So, all right, so we'll go Wyoming. So this one again had to make some changes here. I had a change. So, well, we talked backstage, so I know we got one for sure.
We've got one.
Over. Honestly, from that one, I don't think we got anybody else. I'm going to go one.
I'm going to throw two out there just because.
All right.
Go ahead, lead off.
Yeah, I guess I'm leading off. That's right. So my number 5. Oh God, I didn't even write down what he was because I had a quick change here. So I believe he's an actor / entertainer from the great state of Wyoming.
You may have 3 at this point. That's not the one I'm thinking you were going to pick. Go for it.
Yeah. So, Jim Beaver.
Golly.
Great actor.
Really? Really?
You're number 5.
Really? Golly, I didn't figure you were the one guy I didn't think you were going to pick, and you go and pick him. Because if you've seen Supernatural, if you've seen the Winchesters, and it's hilarious because it's so great because I actually he and I are friends on Facebook, and my number 5 is your number 5. Jim Beaver.
All right.
Are you kidding me?
All right, my number 4, we're going to go with another Hall of Famer. This might be a first for us for these types of lists. We're going to go Hall of Fame alpine skier. And that's one Tommy Moe.
Don't have it, but I saw it. I'm going, oh God, I'm going to put Tommy Moe on here, and I'm going to get. Nobody's going to know who Tommy Moe is, and I knew who Tommy Moe was, and I didn't put him on.
All right, you're number 4.
All right, my number 4. This is the guy I was telling you backstage. Chicago used to have this show called the Chicago Sun-Times Show. It was a baseball card show where you got to meet a lot of people.
Okay.
We met Rafael Palmeiro. We met Mike Gallego, Andre Dawson, Reggie Jackson, and we got to meet this guy. And this was like, I want to say it was 1990, which was really strange. And my brother goes up to this guy and says, "Hey, congratulations on your perfect game." It's a perfect game. And the thing is, this pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds goes, nobody's ever congratulated me on my perfect game here. His perfect game was in September of 1988. And this Sometime show was in January of 89. And it's hilarious. He passed away a couple of years ago. But he's like, and it stuck to him, and he kind of had a little bond with my brother. My number 4 is Tom Browning.
I had him on the list. I didn't realize he threw a perfect game.
Yeah. And
no, I saw him and I thought about adding him on there. So, all right, my number 3. Let me just pull up because I thought I wrote down what he did. So let me see here.
I still can't believe Jim Beaver.
So, yep, I will go with I guess activist poet. I'm not going to say what kind of parties because he's actually tied to both political parties, but we don't get into that. Died 2018, and that's one John Barlow.
Okay, I'm over here going like this, going, no, he didn't. Didn't.
All right.
All right. My number 3. My number 3 is kind of funny because being a fan of a team from the AFC, you get to watch a lot of CBS games. And my number 3 actually did a lot of Colts games this year. But most people remember him being drafted, I want to say, by San Diego when they were still the Chargers, and then end up playing for the at the time St. Louis Rams. I believe played in the game in the New England Patriots, played safety. And when my wife hears his name to find out that his name is actually Italian and not Spanish, which is even funnier. And she corrects me every time I say it because that's not how you say that name. But I'm going to say it wrong just because to see if she's paying attention to this show. My number 3 is Adam Archuleta.
Okay. I don't know if I saw that name or not. I don't know. But my number 2, we're going to go with the actor. He's been paired up with one Patrick Swayze in a few movies. I actually just watched him about a week ago in the movie Home Run Showdown on, I think I saw it on Netflix or Amazon. He was in Red Dawn, The Big Fall, and that is one Darren Dalton, not the baseball player.
That was when I looked at it, I saw Darren Dalton. I'm like, wait, the baseball player's from Wyoming?
Yeah, I thought so too, but there's a U in that Dalton name.
Yeah.
All right, you're number 2.
My number 2, I have a painter, an artist, and very one of those American painters that is very instrumental in the period of time. Was played by Ed Harris, matter of fact, in the biopic about him. I believe I don't think I've seen any of his work, but they're all over the country. From my understanding, just not any place where I've ever been. And I've been to Chicago and all those other great, wonderful cities that in the Midwest that have great, great museums. But the biopic is called Pollock. My number 2 is Jackson Pollock.
Yeah. And just because I get to go first, we tied up the sniping because we already know we talked backstage. So, number 1, Vice President Dick Cheney.
Yeah, Dick Cheney. The running joke is always the running joke is always stand behind Dick Cheney when you're going hunting. Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. All right, so we did 2. So we tied up the sniping here, a 5 apiece. All right, so let's go up to Arizona or over to Arizona, I guess. A little hot there. Part of me I could see 3-4.
Oh,
I'm gonna go 3. I'm gonna go 3.
golly. I'm gonna say two. I'm gonna say two. Just so you know, my number 6 is Barbara Eden. Just so you know,
No. Okay.
the one
All
from
right, well, kick it off.
that's the one that played Jeannie in I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, um, my number 5. I saw this name and thought this had to be question needed to be on my list. She's probably one of and when it comes to female country singers, a lot of people look up to my number 5 because they all said she's got the most pure voice, and to realize what has happened to her in the last 3-4 years, if not 5, where her vocal cords are paralyzed, so she can't sing anymore. But when she did, it was one of the most unbelievable voices to ever grace any genre, rock, country, whatever. My number 5 is Linda Ronstadt.
Okay. My number 5, we're gonna go into the world of football, but the overseas style in soccer.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, she plays here, but and we know her husband as Philadelphia Eagle tight end, and that's one Julian Ertz. So,
Nope.
All right, you're number 4.
Number 4, and I thought it was pretty shocking that this gentleman was born in Arizona, considering he just lost the Super Bowl on Sunday. To us, he is no longer Mr. Irrelevant. My number 4 is Brock Purdy.
Oh, I missed that one. Yep. Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy. Yeah, there's a rumor going around, a news story speaking of Purdy, that the Niners aren't going to sign him.
Are they stupid?
I know. That's what I said. So, they can't afford him, is what the reports
They can't
are.
afford him. What was he on a 2-year contract?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that's right.
Anyways, my number 4 is an actress. I've seen some of her film. Not one of my favorite ladies, but she still hold her own with the best of them. And that's one Emma Stone.
Not what I figured, but go ahead.
All right, you're number 3.
My number 3. Every time I see, and I'm going into the world of music, and every time I see this woman, I consider her like she always looks very like witchy, and she always has this turn where she always turns, and it's always her videos always having her turn, and then out of nowhere, Tom Petty wants her to sing a song, but she was also the lead singer of a British band called Fleetwood Mac. Absolutely, another one that's got an absolutely crazy voice, and another one that I absolutely love. My number 3 is Stevie Nicks.
Saw that one. Where are we at? Number 4, number 3.
You're number 3.
Number 3, I'm going to pull out a Homer card on this one. To me, I think I want to say he was drafted late too, and undersized for the most part, and still end up being an NFL Hall of Famer. And that's one Randall McDaniel.
Holy smokes, Randall McDaniel! Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah. You're number 2.
My number 2. I'm going to stay in the world of music.
Okay.
A gentleman we lost way too soon. I originally had Glenn Campbell on this list, and then I realized he wasn't born in Arizona. That was kind of a kick in the face. But my number 2 became popular in the early 2000s. I love their stuff. My stepdaughter absolutely loves this stuff. Absolutely loves this gentleman, the former lead singer of Linkin Park. Absolutely one of those crazy voices. Kind of another one of those songwriters that we lost way too soon. My number 2 is Chester Bennington.
Okay. I'm kind of wondering where you went on 1-2 here. So my number 2, I got 2 people here. Because me and you, and of course tonight is Between the Ropes. So I'd throw a couple wrestlers on there. One guy, I guess you can kind of say was the start of like the Hogan and Jesse Ventura type guys. The other one, currently supposedly stepped away from GM of the NXT brand. And we got one superstar Billy Graham and one Shawn Michaels.
Wait, Shawn Michaels is from Arizona?
Well,
I thought he was from Texas.
Nope. I will recheck again. Shawn Michaels born July 22nd from Chandler, Arizona.
Yes, oh Pete. Oh man.
See, guys, we have to self-check ourselves too once in a while. So
holy smokes.
All right, you're number 2. You're number 1.
My number 1. Oh, and the thing is, my number 1 is an Oscar Award winner, is nominated for an Oscar this year for Poor Things, which is funny because she's in the same movie with somebody that's going to show up on another list very shortly here, from Wisconsin. Oh, man, I love her stuff. I love everything she does. To me, between her Amazing Spider-Man, from her doing Easy A, to Superbad, to La La Land. I absolutely love her work, and that's Emma Stone. My number 1 is your number 4, I believe.
Okay. Yep. I had her at number 4.
Yeah.
So I take the lead. You missed somebody big. I cannot believe this. This might almost go down as my Tony Gwynn. So this is the actress. When you started saying ladies, I thought maybe we had this one, but I don't think she won anything. And maybe she's not big, but I'm kind of thinking. So sorry, phone's ringing. I will not get that, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think I might. I had the right TV show, but I thought she played Wonder Woman.
She did. No, she did. She was on the list. She was on
Linda Carter at number 1.
She was on my list.
I'm surprised you didn't have her there.
She got. I'm going to tell you who she got replaced by.
Emma Stone.
No, she got replaced by Brock Purdy.
Number
4.
Replace Wonder Woman with Brock Purdy. Wow. Well, at least you said you had her on the list, because I know when I had my Tony Gwynn moment, for some reason I just blanked it. We're talking about outfielders. I don't know how I blanked on that one. So we had one. I almost thought we were going 0 for 5. I thought we were going 0 for 5. So anyways, all right. So let's get into Wisconsin, your state.
I'm not even born. Here's the screwed up thing: is I'm not even born from Wisconsin.
Oh, you're not? I didn't know that. I figured you were.
I was born in Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Because basically anybody who's from Niagara, who's lived in Niagara for most of their life, was born in Michigan.
Oh yeah, because I guess that's probably the
We
closest
have no
hospital.
hospital. We have no hospital.
So so technically you're okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. With that being said,
Oh man.
I got a big curveball at number 5.
I got two sitting at my number 5.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Well,
This one is so tough. I've got oh god, I'm sitting here.
this one honestly, like I said, for one state we could go 5 for 5. This one I could see us going 0 for 5.
Oh,
because there's so many good ones.
I've got.
But I'm gonna go 2.
I've got 11 names. I'm looking at 12 names here. That's where my list is at.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2.
I'm gonna know what I'm gonna do just for you. I'm gonna double up my 4 just to make somebody not happy. I am figuring out if I'm gonna make a Vikings fan unhappy or a Packer fan unhappy at this point. So yeah, two's possible.
All right, you go ahead.
My number 5 is doubled up right off the top. No, it's your turn. You go, bud. You lead off.
Do I lead off? Okay, I guess I lead off. All right. Let me see. You, me, you.
Yeah.
Oh, it is me. All right. Well, then I'll go with my number 5 right off the bat. I kind of pulled a Tim Hendricks, fictional character BS on this curveball.
Who did that BS?
One.
You went that way.
One Paul Bunyan is.
Oh, you went Paul Bunyan. I thought you were gonna go Barbie.
I actually did put Barbie on there, and I'm like, oh no, he's gonna pull that one. So I kind of outthought myself, and I went Paul Bunyan.
Okay, I almost put Barbie on. Just so you know, I almost put Barbie on. My number 5. I've doubled up on my number 5. I went the sportscaster route. I know we don't do too many sportscasters. And I doubled up. Everybody from Wisconsin knows one sportscaster that was born in Wisconsin. Matter of fact, is a good Milwaukee boy, but was originally drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals and then was signed by the Milwaukee Braves later on. Another one is actually in the NBA, if I'm not mistaken, the NBA Hall in the Basketball Hall of Fame as an NBA sports commentator. To me, the voice of the Milwaukee Brewers is one half my number 5, and to me, if you watch NBA Tonight, I believe, we all missed the other Alabama guy who's actually on set with my number 5, Mr. Charles Barkley. We missed in Alabama because he's an Alabama boy. My number 5A is Bob Uecker, and my 5B is Ernie Johnson.
When you said broadcasting, I'm like, shit, I forgot Bob Uecker from there. No, great sportcaster. Yeah. So my number 4, this guy, I want to say had a stint as helping co-host and doing bits for NFL Fox. The guy could do many, many voices. And honestly, I mean, he could have a whole conversation just himself, but he can have like 200 people there, and he could do the voice for all of them. He does Madden very well. He does, he does so many. And that's Frank Caliendo.
Yeah, I knew that one. I knew that one. Didn't put that one on, but I knew that one. Don't worry, I've got the list of 5 other people that I can tell you after this, just to blow everybody's mind.
All right.
My number 4, I'm going to kind of pull a Brandon Homer card. on this
Okay.
one. And it's funny because you got a Wisconsin guy that deals with things in Minnesota. But this is a twofer, so I'm going to piss off people on both sides of that border. One was the general manager and head coach of a certain team in the Fox River Valley. The other one was the head coach and took the Minnesota Vikings to the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. My number 4 is the former head coach and general manager and Hall of Fame head coach and general manager of the Green Bay Packers, Curly Lambeau. And my other one is the former head coach, and I also believe Hall of Famer, Bud Grant.
Ooh, honestly, I didn't realize Bud Grant was from Wisconsin. Okay. All right. Well, I'm at number 3, and I doubled up here too, and this is where I thought your double up was coming up. As a matter of fact, 3 and 2 are both double ups. For me, again, we're going to the wrestling world, and we are going to. One guy has a gym here, a school here in Minnesota. The other one has a gym in his hometown, I believe, in Wisconsin. And one is our favorite. One of my guys is a fan, or our co-host on Between the Ropes is a big fan of him.
Dirty Dom?
That is one. Daniel Past, as you know him as Hornswoggle. And the other one is Mr. Kennedy, Ken Kennedy.
Ken Kennedy. Ken Anderson. Yeah. I knew about Ken Anderson. I took Ken Anderson off the list. I thought you were going to go Otis. I forgot about Hornswoggle. I knew about Hornswoggle. God, I forgot about Hornswoggle. God, that makes me angry. This is a fact because I didn't see Hornswoggle. My number 3.
I had to look it up too. I knew he was there.
That was the thing, is I knew Hornswoggle, and I knew because it's and that's the worst thing is I think he's from the same area that Ken's from. I think they're both, because Ken's from Two Rivers, and he's from that area.
Hornswoggle is Oshkosh.
Yeah, that's not too far. It's not too different from away from Two Rivers, because Ken went to Two Rivers.
I thought Ken, Mr. Anderson was from somewhere else. Go ahead with your number 3.
My number 3, to me, I think
Anderson was born in Wisconsin Rapids.
Yeah, I know he went to high school. I know he went to high school in Two Rivers, but my number 3, to me, probably one of the funniest guys I've seen in movies. Mel Brooks seemed to throw him in everything that Mel Brooks could. Like right now, at this point, you do movies that Mel Brooks did back in the 70s. They aren't getting made today. Then you realize that he did a movie with Harrison Ford back I think it was The Frisco Kid. I absolutely loved it, where he plays a rabbi alongside a guy who went to college in Wisconsin, in Harrison Ford. But to believe that him and Richard Pryor would make such great movies, but everybody, and believe me, if you were a kid of the 80s, everybody you knew this guy as one Willy Wonka. My number 3 is Gene Wilder.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Wow, that's a good one. I forgot. I thought he was from the Midwest. I just forgot where. My number 2, another double up, and actually, this one could probably be a trio. But the brothers popped up. I'm going to assume that the third one.
They're all from Milwaukee.
No. So I'm going to go with the Watt brothers, JJ, TJ, and the third one. I can't think of who he was.
Can't remember the third one, but I didn't put them on my list. They're not even on my
The
list.
Watt
They're not even-
brothers.
They're to TJ. Yeah, was it TJ, JJ, and oh man, yeah, I can't remember the other one. And I seen one of them play in a bowl game. I can't remember. I think it was TJ. Golly, yeah, I know. I saw it on the list. And
Derek.
Derek, yeah, Derek Watts.
just looked
Both,
at
and
them.
two of them played, and two of them played for the Steelers.
Yep. And TJ, and honestly, JJ was supposed to go to Minnesota and then backed out when they fired Glenn Mason.
Which one?
JJ was supposed to play for the Gophers.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. All right, you're number 2.
My number two. I'm going to stay in the acting world. To me, back in the day, back in the long day, back in the 40s, was considered the member of the Mount Rushmore of acting. If everybody tells you, if you haven't watched The Grapes of Wrath, you haven't watched cinema. And I had no clue he was from Wisconsin until today. Actually, one of his better known things is scaring people, doing War of the Worlds on radio, and literally scared the living bejesus out of people. My number 2 is Orson Welles.
God, that name. You said that, and it's like, oh, that name just rings a bell on so many different things. So, all right, my number 1 is a very funny guy.
That's
and a certain other comedian wrote a song about him. And this one, you've seen him pretty much team up with David Spade quite a bit. You see him, great scene on Saturday Night Live. One of my favorites is when he does the Chippendale dance with Patrick Swayze. And that's one, Chris Farley.
He's number 9 on my list.
Oh, we go awful, hopefully. Well, maybe not.
Oh,
I don't know who your number 1 is.
We're going 0 for. Because I don't think you got him on. I don't. You didn't. Obviously, you don't have him on the list. One of those guys. My number 1 is a musician, an entertainer, flamboyant entertainer. When I heard he was from Wisconsin, I'm like, no, that doesn't seem like he's from Wisconsin. But I've known about this man being from Wisconsin for a very, very long time, and to understand that, I believe at one point he had a TV show, had a show in Las Vegas, known for being very flamboyant, was played by Michael Douglas of all people in a biopic about him. My number 1 is Liberace.
Really? He's from Minnesota. He's from Wisconsin?
He's from Minnesota. That explains everything. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, he's from Wisconsin. I'm going to tell you. I told you my number 9 is Chris Farley.
Yep.
I will tell you the final 4 on my of the 10 that I've got up here at this point.
All right.
My number 10 is the guy who played Sloth in Goonies, but is also a Super Bowl champion who is known for intercepting Joe Theismann at the end of the first half of a Super Bowl. One John Matuzak. He
really?
Yep.
Okay.
I said earlier, Chris Farley's at number 9. This is the crazy one when you realize it's going. He doesn't look like a Wisconsin guy. My number 8 is Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, I almost put him on there too.
Number 7 I have is Willem Dafoe.
Okay.
And my number 6 is Mark Ruffalo.
Okay. So we did good list. Again, we got to do a little bit more homework because there's some names I had to cross out because we started talking and I think we had some of the same names.
Because they're
But
from
anyway,
and not. Yeah.
yeah. So speaking of list, we're gonna do our bit here. I got the top 10 according to Fox Sports Super Bowls. I'm trying to look to see when this actually was put together, but I'm going to guess fairly recent because it has last year's Super Bowl on here. So
Okay.
I believe it does.
And considering what was it? This year's had 123 million TVs.
Yeah, this year was a big one. So this was this was almost a year ago. This was February 7th, 2023.
Okay.
So all right. So maybe it doesn't have last year's on there.
It should.
Yeah, but anyways, so let's get to number 10 here. Number 10, greatest Super Bowl from Fox Sports. Super Bowl 36, Patriots Rams. Patriots win 20-17.
That was a good one too.
Yeah.
That was the Vinatieri kicking that field goal at the end of the game.
Okay. Then we have Super Bowl 49. XL is 40.
XL is 40.
Or is that 50?
No, 50 was. That's 50.
Anyway, okay.
That's 50.
All right. So Super Bowl at number 9, Patriots.
That's 40. That's Super Bowl 40 because we just had 49 last night.
All right. So Super Bowl 40. So yeah. So Patriots Seahawks. Patriots win 28-24. If I remember right, that's the one where they passed the ball on the goal line?
Yeah, that's the Malcolm Butler. That's the Malcolm Butler interception.
Where they should have ran when they should have ran Marshawn Lynch?
Yep.
All right. Super Bowl 3. This one is the game I think Theismann said that he was going to win. 16-7, Jets over the Colts.
Yeah, that was Namath. That was Namath, stupid.
Namath. Yeah, Namath. I'm sorry. All right.
Super
Bowl 34. Rams Titans. Rams win 23-16.
That's where what Dyson misses was a yard short.
Yep. Yard short of the goal line. Yep. All right. This Super Bowl 42. Is that L40?
L 42. That'd be LVII.
Okay, no. So this is the Super Bowl, whatever the L. It was here in Minnesota. Eagles, Patriots, 41-31 with the Philly special to win the game.
Oh, that was
52. 52.
That was 42. That was 42.
52. No, it was 52. L's 50.
Yeah, but they've just had 49.
What?
Yeah, okay, L you minus
5 years ago.
Yeah, it's 40.
5 years ago today, Super Bowl 52 happened. The Philly special.
That was 52? Then what was I don't know. That was the game,
I don't know. Ruben will screw me up. So all right. So we're going into Super Bowl the fifth. So now we're in the top 5, and this is Super Bowl 25. Bills Giants.
that
Giants,
was a great game too.
The Giants beat the Bills 20-19. If I remember right, is that the second game of the 3?
That's
the
4
4
that's the first game of the 3 of the 5 games.
Yeah. All right, and then we go into Super Bowl 23. 49ers versus Bengals. Niners win 20-16.
Is that the first one or the second one? Is that the John Taylor one?
That's the John Taylor touchdown pass. Yep. Touchdown catch. Yep.
I really thought the Bengals were going to win that game. That's the one they call the drive. That's the
Yep,
one they call the drive. Yep.
Yep. All right. Let's see here. Eric's chiming in. See, if we just use real numbers, we wouldn't have. Yeah, exactly. So number 3 Super Bowl of all time, according to Fox Sports, Super Bowl 13, Steelers Cowboys. Steelers beat the Cowboys 35-31.
Yeah.
And that was Lynn Swann 18-yard flying circus touchdown grab, they call it.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. And then we got Super Bowl XL3, so 30, 33.
Yeah, I would think so.
All right. So Steelers Cardinals 27-23.
That's the
That
James
was
that was the James Harrison run 100-yard return.
Yep. Yeah, San Antonio made the all-time catch to win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And then the number 1 Super Bowl was 32 Giants Patriots.
That's the
17-14.
That's the 16-0. That's the 16-0 Patriots trying to complete the thing and they lose.
And that's the catch on the helmet, right?
That's
the catcher.
I can't remember who that is catching him.
Damn it! What's his name now?
Which Moss is it?
If J-Mac was here, he would have known. He would tell us.
Was that Sonoris Moss? No.
We'll have to find it. I know who it is too. God, the name is right there too. I just can't think of it.
Not Beckham.
No,
it's not Amani. Amani Toomer is the one that caught him back.
Okay, we're gonna look at it. It's gonna bug me all day.
Yeah, it's not Beckham.
It is David Tyree.
Yeah. And that
So,
was right there in front. That was the one that was right in front of Rodney Harrison too.
And that's the one too where they should have sacked Eli Manning like 3 times and somehow he got away. I don't know how he got away.
Yeah, I don't understand that. It would have been in the grass. It would have been in the grass on Sunday, but.
Yep, exactly. So with that being said, want to thank you guys, Tim. Final thoughts.
Yeah, it was interesting. It's just we got to do this. This is the one show where we got to do extra homework just to make sure that they're from and not just they were born, not just from. Whew.
Yeah, you would think that would be an easy determination that if you type in born that they would just give us everybody born from that state, but no.
Not so lucky.
Yeah, so tonight we have Between the Ropes. The guys will break down recent wrestling activity. The slap heard around the world come Thursday night. If you guys don't know, you guys can stay tuned to Between the Ropes tonight and find out. Sports Minute tomorrow. Keeping It Real on Thursday. Entertainment Hour on Friday. Kicking It on Thursday. Tim's favorite show, especially the last minute or so when Isaiah breaks down a movie.
Yeah.
I don't know what the movie was this week, but I can't wait to go back and watch it.
I didn't see it, so.
With that being said, Morning Tailgate finished their show. Next up for the Morning Tailgate crew will be NFL Draft, unless there's some big breaking news. I'm not sure. I got to get with Bacon, but I think we might go over the Super Bowl. I don't know if it's this week, but I know I know it's gonna come about eventually. But definitely you'll catch Chris and Tim on their annual draft coverage coming up in April when we'll hear Tim tell us that this guy should have been picked 17 times and probably get picked in the second round.
Golly. Yeah, we won't bring up this ever again.
But with that being said, thanks for joining, and we'll see y'all next week on C2C Rankem. Have a good one.